Hi there, I'm Katrina,
Hi, I'm Jen.
and we're here to talk to you about sadhana, which is your daily devotion to yourself. We're going to make this a weekly event, so today is all about meditation. So here we go, meditation as part of your daily devotion to yourself. I'm sure some of you already meditate and you have your own practice, but it's about cultivating and making it a regular daily practice. And like, a devotion to yourself means it's something that you spend time and cultivate your own inner strength and recognize that being that is inside you. The best way to do that is to meditate. So yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they hear the word meditation, they think it's just sitting quietly in a dark corner for like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and me, that can be torture on some days.
Yeah.
So hopefully through this discussion today, like people will realize that there's more than one way to meditate.
Loads of ways.
Um, and I like to include lots of different types of meditation in my practice because some days the sitting down and being quiet
It's just not worth
for it doesn't happen. It doesn't work. It's not effective. So we'll get into that today, but I look forward to talking about that with
it.
everyone because there's so many things you can do.
Exactly. So what is the purpose of meditation? Why do we do it? um, First of all, as you all know, it's about trying to ground yourself and to have a calm mind. When you do meditate and you make it a regular practice, it actually gives you some perspective. You're able to kind of look at the bigger picture. You're able to not have a busy, crazy monkey brain head where your thinking mind is doing too much work. So it's about giving that thinking mind a little break. It makes you less reactive rather than so you're much more of a um, you're kind of an observer in the body that you're in rather than someone who reacts to situations. So it gets you changing from that perspective, and that's a very healthy place to be. Go on.
So I was watching a video yesterday
Uh-huh.
and I had an aha moment for our discussion today.
Oh, go on.
Uh, and it was talking about how in times of stress, if you don't have a particular practice where you can learn techniques to calm yourself, like meditation or breathing techniques, things like that,
Hmm.
that whenever you get worked up or you're in a situation or it's heated or whatever, that the first, and again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not, but this is just kind of, it made sense to me is that our thinking brain shuts down and our reaction brain ignites.
Mm.
And so when this happens is when you get that reactive response, like it's just knee jerk, it's just comes out instead of being something thoughtful that's going to de-escalate the situation. So meditation practices can actually help you whenever you're in those stressful situations to keep the blood flowing to your thinking brain and take attention away from the reactive brain.
Hmm.
Um,
That's a very good point. Yeah.
to help keep you grounded. Because otherwise, when you get going, I know we've all been there, you can't stop, you
No,
know?
no,
Like
impossible.
once that first thing comes out of your mouth or that feeling, that triggered feeling happens, that fight or flight, or you start to sweat or you get red, like you're gone,
Hmm.
and it's hard to reel it back in. So with meditation, this can actually help you. Where am I responding from? Am I reacting or am I being thoughtful and deliberate about it? So this will help with that for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we're always in our head. We're always thinking about what's the next thing to do. Our daily to-do list is always playing a record player in our head, and then we're adapting it. And even when you try and switch your brain off, which is a really, really difficult thing to do. They say when you meditate, don't think of anything. It's not possible. You can't not think of anything.
Right.
The monkey brain is always going to throw stuff in, and guess what, it's always bad stuff too. It's never something, unless you had your gratitude list playing in your brain, but that's never usually the case. It's always when we've got a quiet time, is we're always trying to solve a problem, and I think that's what we're always trying to do, is we're problem solvers. So a difficult situation is brought to our attention, and then we then want to try and solve it, but it's not always possible. Sometimes time away from just thinking highlights what needs to be done. So it's really, really important, to have that time to step away from it. And this is done, the best thing you can do for that is meditation. So it helps us find inner peace, and that inner peace that we can cultivate. And the more you tap into meditation, the more inner peace you cultivate. And with that, you are then able to have a good day and not react to things as you once did. And also that obviously comes with age, but then for some people it doesn't.
Comes with practice.
Yeah, practice is the thing. Practice is key, and it's a really good discipline. Cultivating this is in your sadhana is a very good discipline for you, and also for people who you have to deal with, because it gives you that kind of barrier, and it's like you then know how to deal with that situation, which we'll talk about later. So what is the purpose of meditation? So it unblocks compartments of your subconscious mind, because I don't know if you're aware, but the brain, the mind, the subconscious mind is the iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg is the conscious mind. So there's only a tip there. Very tiny percentage of our mind is the thinking mind, the actual active mind that we, are thinking all the time. That monkey mind, that is the tip of the iceberg. The rest of it, which is massive, is your subconscious mind. So the moment that you enter a room, you're not conscious about it. Your subconscious mind is the one that's doing the work. It opens the door handle. It's aware of how to turn the door handle, whether it's pushing the door or pulling the handle down, or if it's pulling the door towards you. Your subconscious mind knows very well how to operate that door, because it's done it so many times, and you don't have to think about it, because our subconscious mind is even there to help us with breathing. It's connected to us in such a way that we automatically do things. We drive with our subconscious mind. We know when to pull, to use the gear stick, and when to press on the gas or when to press on the brake. That's all done subconsciously, while we can still listen to music and have a conversation, and the conversation is the conscious mind, and the music to some level is a conscious mind as well. So, we're very, very capable, but it's to be able to unleash that compartment of the subconscious mind that we store all this information. So meditation actually makes you more intelligent, because we have all this information that we store from years and years and years, since we were a baby, since we were being born, to our present day. So the more we meditate, we can actually connect that conscious mind, that little tip of the iceberg, to the subconscious mind. And, that's just going to make you a genius, right?
Yep.
Putting two and two together, doesn't take much, but all that is just you making it your regular practice to meditate on a daily basis. You become less reactive, and it also makes you more intelligent. So, and then therefore it brings on intuition, because with that intelligence, you become intuitive. You develop inner strength, confidence in your choice, because in your gut instinct is telling you that this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do. You're able to let go of stuff, things that are petty, things that used to mean everything to you, but you're able to see things in the perspective and look at things from a distance, and it makes you a much kind of like calmer person, all-rounder. And then also finding freedom away from that monkey mind, realizing that, okay, now you're telling me stuff I don't need to know about. I'm going to put you away. I'm going to let you have a break, and just go back into meditating. And that's what I've started to do now, actually, because if I get a bit too stressed, I just kind of like close my eyes and just go to my breath. And it was really, really bad, and then I'm able to kind of like calm myself down, and I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm here. Right. Anything disturbing? Is there anything that is of danger to me right now? No, there isn't. Okay. Bills need to be paid. I know, but they don't need to be paid this minute, do they? I'm okay. It's things like that, really. Yeah.
Yeah. And I use a technique that I learned in like this recorded meditation that I was doing for a while, that I've been meaning to start up again, because it's pretty good. But basically, it's someone talking you through how to put away your things, right? It's like cleaning your room, but cleaning your head. And so part of going into a really good deep meditation is addressing all the things that are jumping around in your monkey mind, right? And so part of this meditation, and I still do it now, whenever I find I'm getting worked up or I have way too many thoughts going on and my head is just too busy for no reason, right? That I'll just sit quietly and just think of a box. And then I imagine myself, right? And all these things that are charging through my mind that aren't serving me or a purpose in that moment, or there's nothing I can do anything about. I imagine picking it up and like I imagine feeling the weight of it, you know, the shape of it, what it would look like, what color it is. And then I put it in the box. And then I go to the next thing and I put it in the box. And then whenever I'm done with these things, I close the box and slide it in the corner.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, and it's very reminiscent of cleaning your room, you know, or doing your laundry or putting things away, putting things where they belong. And that's the thing about having all these thoughts is where do they belong? Where are they supposed to go? Where are you supposed to put them?
Yeah.
There are even times that I've like categorized boxes, you know, like, you know how when you're sorting your house and you're like throw away, donate, keep.
Yeah.
I've done that too with my thoughts. Like this can be thrown away. This isn't serving me. This is a negative thought. This is just bringing me down. Or donate. That's like your gratitude, you know, that you can have, but you can share. And then keep are the things that, you know, are meaningful or sentimental to you. And so
your brain really, isn't it?
Yeah. It helps. It helps like put things where they belong. And then you're just kind of like, like, you know, the feeling after you clean your house and you're just like, I can relax.
Yeah.
It smells good. It feels good.
Yeah.
Light a candle.
Exactly. Because it's like, you know, our brain needs the cleaning just as much as the area around us, you know, because if we've got a busy mind, a busy head, a busy brain, it's just gonna, it means that we can't focus on what needs to be focused on. We can't be present. You know, if you're a family mother or a father and you want to be present for your children, and it's hard to do that if you've got all this stuff going on in your head. So you really need to take care of yourself and find a way to compartmentalize these things, whether it's using the method that Jen talked about, which sounds brilliant. And I love the idea of color coding them as well, because that's really a good visualization technique that you could use. And also what I find for me recently I've been doing is writing down my concerns and worries. I've been writing them in a journal just before I meditate, just so that it gets it out of my head and puts it away so that I can then focus on my breathing. So that, you know, that works sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I need something more visual, and you know, there's so many different techniques. So, and you can always also go onto YouTube. There's a lot of meditation videos and clips and stuff, and play around with it. You've got to find one that works for you. You know, we're all different, and this is why I always think it's good for you to explore that yourself, because you are so different. Because you know,
yes,
counting might work for some people, breathing helps others, and some people need a physical meditation, like movement with the hands, maybe doing some qigong, that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, it's so coming to the point, how do we meditate? Even going for a walk is a meditation. But when I talk about sadhana, it's about your own daily devotion to yourself. So if you're going out for a walk with a partner or with a friend, or you know, maybe your dog will be okay. I think walking with your dog will be fine, because he or she will be a great listener to your problems, I'm sure. Yeah, going for a walk is great, but you know, if you're able to cultivate that into your daily practice, then that's great. Sitting quietly, even just sitting quietly and looking at the greenery, or meditating is you can even have your eyes open as you meditate. You can meditate by sitting down and being quiet, and you know, just looking at the view of your area, or just staring out the window. That's meditation as well. What I do regularly is listening to my breath, because I'm a singer, and I always think about my breathing. As I inhale, my rib cage, my diaphragm gets bigger, and as I exhale, it contracts. So to me, I've always use that as a method of meditation, because I like to feel myself expand and contract, and that kind of puts me into this kind of like meditative state. So that's one I always go to, and particularly go to that before going to sleep at night, especially if I'm feeling like I can't drop off. It's very good.
Breathing technique always helps me fall asleep. If I find myself being restless, I could be tossing and turning in bed for 2 hours, and finally I'm like, enough. Just lay down and inhale. And usually by the 5th breath, I'm out.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It does to reset you. And I'm like, why didn't I do this 2 hours ago?
Exactly right. Because like especially if you've got your hands on your tummy, you're aware, and it's very, very relaxing to feel the tummy get bigger and the tummy get smaller. So that sensation it makes you feel like, it's kind of like gives you like feeling, it's
intoxicating.
Intoxicating, that's the word. So the other thing is really important to turn all your distractions off, whether that is, mind you, if you've got an app and you want to use it for meditation, make sure that you have it set to airplane mode, maybe, so you're not taking in calls or things like that, or perhaps silence your phone, that sort of thing. Because most people these days, they use their phones to do meditations because you've got apps, you've got music, whatever it is that you have, then obviously that's fine. But try and put it onto a setting that you're not receiving mail or messages or phone calls, that sort of thing, because it is your time to yourself. So you have to dedicate that and make it a dedication to you. So again, there are apps that you can use for that. Spending time in nature on your own, like I said, going for a walk, that's really good. I've got here a quick meditation technique which you can follow if you want to, and it's one that is very, very simple, and I've been using since I first started learning how to meditate. Very, very simple. You just close your eyes, relax your body. I haven't got that written down, but relax. And then you inhale till you're very full. So inhale, and then you pause, and then you slowly exhale all the way out until there's no more air left. And then you pause, and then you repeat that, and you keep on going and going and going. And you can time yourself for 5 minutes, or you can do it, extend that from 5 minutes to further. However, if you're busy, then 5 minutes is all you need, really. It's the minimum that you should do on a daily basis. Use the sound bowl music or meditative tracks. That's very helpful because the mind is wandering, and it's always trying to find something to get information from. So if you've got a very busy mental mind and you find that hard to switch yourself off, then music, tracks, sound bowl, very, very good. Yeah.
There's also on a lot of mediums, but even on YouTube, I use Spotify, but there's binaural beats.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah.
And when you use like noise canceling headphones, or if you have really good earbuds or just nice headphones that like insulate your ears, it moves things in your head. You'll start feeling tingling, you'll start feeling coolness, heat. Like it really does like a brain massage. It's pretty remarkable. I had always tried binaural beats before, just on like regular whatever headphones, and then I was like, you know what, let me get a nice pair and try this out. And when I was like, this is what this is for.
Well, I actually cured a sore throat I had once through binaural beats. It was amazing because straight to my throat chakra. But it was like, I went to sleep with listening to them, and then I woke up, I was like, oh, that pain's gone. Amazing.
It's remarkable. I started doing that actually while we were in India, and I had like my cheap headphones there, and then when I got back home and I had my nice ones, I was like, oh no, this works. This is really good.
It's amazing. Sound vibrations are amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Like, so I highly recommend looking into that. It's easy. They even have them on YouTube. You just binaural beats, just do a search and find one that works for you. Some of them were a little tingy for my ears, so finding the right one that just vibes good with you, like, oh, you can't do any other meditation. You're like, I can't say I think when I walk, I don't want to go out alone, blah, blah, blah. Just do binaural beats.
Binaural beats, yeah. So that's what we established this session. So if you can't do any other form of meditation, look for a binaural beat clip on YouTube. There are loads, and there's so many for different parts of the body, different like if you suffer with a very busy mind, there's even binaural beat for that. You know, there's binaural beats for different situations. Like I found one for sore throats, and it really worked well for my sore throat. So but you just have to be calm and trust the process and just relax, you know. So this is a really great way to get into it.
Yeah.
So when can I meditate? I always find, for me, as soon as I get up in the morning, sit by the side of my bed and just close my eyes and breathe in and out. That, for me, even if I do it for 5 minutes, perfect. That sets me up for my day. But that's just me. You can do it when you wake up, or you can do it, you know, any time of the day, really. But obviously, first thing in the morning sets you up for the day.
And the thing with that is incorporating this into a sadhana. And what we're referring to with sadhana is like our daily routine, our daily practice that's just for us. It's like it can be considered a spiritual practice, whether you're a spiritual person or not. It's like a soothing, meditative routine that just kind of gets you into the right place, the right frame of mind. It sets you up for the entire day. And so that's why Katrina's saying it's best done in the morning as soon as you wake up, because it's part of this routine. But even for me, like with my putting things in boxes, sometimes I do this like multiple times throughout the day, depending on what kind of day that I'm having or what situation I'm dealing with. So meditation can be done anytime, but as part of the sadhana, you know, to get this well-rounded routine for yourself, then yes, starting the morning off with it is most effective.
Exactly. So yeah, you can, I forgot to actually mention, you can even meditate while you're shaking your body. A shaking is also considered a meditation, and the shaking followed by stillness. That does amazing things to you. I remember the doing meditation by Osho. He had a lot of shaking first. It was Kundalini meditation, shaking, intense shaking for 15 minutes, followed by stillness for 15 minutes. And
yes,
pay attention, because if you're shaking and you're shaking and shaking and shaking, it might make you laugh, it might make you cry, it shakes up a lot of emotional stuff, you know. And then you're still, and you just got to watch that stillness. So you actually become the observer in your own body, because all these particles in your body have been shaken like crazy, shaken, and they're kind of like, you know, dancing about, and then you've got this stillness. So it's kind of like settling, and if you can observe this subtle difference, it's what an amazing experience. So that's something I really highly recommend as well. So I find that, carry on.
When we were in India, so because the only meditation I had ever been exposed to was the sit and be quiet meditation. Never worked for me. And then through our course that we were taking, we were exploring different types of meditation. And it wasn't until we started the shaking meditation that I actually, for the first time, did a really good, helpful, nice meditation afterwards. And it was 15 minutes. I think our instructor used like African drumming.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah,
Just a consistent beat over and over again, which they have a bunch of clips on YouTube or on Spotify.
Exactly.
Find one that works for you. Katrina, I know she likes the dancing. So the free movement, you know, incorporated with the shaking, moving the arms, getting things going, loosening things up. And then what he would have us do is he'd shut off the music and we would sit down and go into meditation.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Straight away. No moving about, just straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how when you exhaust your body, your mind submits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't have all these crazy thoughts or having to put things in boxes and things like that. Like my body was doing all the work, and what I actually was imagining, you know, because you're saying you're an observer at that point, I could like feel the cells bouncing around in my body.
Exactly.
Because you stop so suddenly and you sit down and you go into meditation that things are just kind of firing, and you can feel things in your body and like nerves in your legs or your arms or like a twitch here or whatever, that you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So aware of. And so your mind becomes the observer rather than giving things to think about. Your body is giving you things to think about. So it plays a different role, which is really quite powerful. it's like as if you're a runner and you've gone for a run, you're running really fast, and all of a sudden you stop, right? And you're not slowing down. So it's the sensation of being really, really active and then stopping immediately. So it's going to be vibrating inside you, is going to be vibrating. So it's about allowing you to make sense of those vibrations and to pay attention to what's actually happening, because inside yourself is your inner being, your cells, your, you know, parts of your body, your systems, they're all communicating. And so it's this precious communication that it's having with your conscious mind. That's the subconscious mind and the conscious mind communicating, which is very, very amazing. Yeah.
And I will say, and this is not related, but doing the shaking meditation really firmed up my thighs.
Good point. Yeah.
More than any squats I've ever done, or just having that bend in the knee and doing the shaking and the bouncing.
Yeah.
My thighs were so firm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are they like this? And then when, you know, you get into, you're like, I know what meditation feels like. I know how to get into it now. And you do the shaking less. Then you're like, oh, wait a minute. My thighs are a little more jiggly.
Yeah. Yeah. So making it part of your regular practice. Start off with 5 minutes, bring it up to 10, you know, that sort of thing. And see how it makes you feel. And yeah, it'd be really nice to hear from you. If you do try it out, comment below so that we can hear what your experiences are, because, you know, it's very, very amazing. And it's, yeah, I can't really explain it. It's something you have to experience, you know. So yeah. Yeah. So again, when can I meditate? Last thing before you go to bed is also a very good time, because it's good to process your thoughts and to compartmentalize them, like what Jen was saying, to be able to put them into certain boxes so that you can then have a good night's sleep. Because the problem we have with having insomnia and things like that is that we are not able to process our thoughts. And it's very important to do, it's like housekeeping for your brain. I really like that analogy, you know. It's housekeeping for your mind, housekeeping for your brain. You want to make sure that things are in the right area so that when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh and you are ready to start your day. If you have a to-do list that's going on in your head, write it down before you go to bed, because by writing down your to-do list before you go to bed means that you're not playing it through your head. So, you know, you get it out and put it aside. And then you sit down and do your 5 minutes breathing in and out, or you just sit down and close your eyes and, you know, do what Jen was saying about compartmentalizing the stuff.
Yes. Clean your room, clean your mind, you know, get your things ready for the next day, set out your clothes, you know, the night before, like do those things and then get in bed and then do the same thing in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's definitely something that keeps you in a good state of mind, especially with this lockdown. You do need routine. You really need to have a form of routine, because by not having a routine, it makes us crazy. You know, we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, but if we can take care of our own mental health and our own space that we're in, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what's happening outside. It really doesn't. If you can take care of yourself, what happens outside doesn't matter, you know. So yeah, you just you know, follow the instructions that we're giving you here, because sadhanas are really, really powerful once you cultivate your own sadhana, whatever it is. We'll go through, we'll talk about other practices that you can cultivate too, because it's about giving yourself that daily devotion. And once you have a daily devotion, you can set boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself, especially with thinking about people who have been in abusive relationships. That's due to the lack of having a daily practice, maybe, or boundaries, because you have to set boundaries when you do sadhana. Right, okay, from 9:05 to, I don't know, 9:30, that's me, you know. No one's entering that bubble. That's my bubble. Yeah. So it's about cultivating that time and saying, no, that's me, and this is what I'm going to do. And you can even write a list of the sadhanas that you want to do, and you can, you know, do whatever you want with it. So it's your precious time, very, very precious, you know.
Absolutely.
So make meditation part of your sadhana, for your daily sadhana. Yeah. Okay. So it's all about the devotion and that you make to yourself and your being, because when you set this time, like I said before, it actually it makes you feel inside that you care for yourself, you know, because we live each day and mindlessly sometimes, but being mindful and thinking about our actions and being the observer rather than the reactor, means that we are showing a lot more respect to ourselves inside. So it's showing self-love. So this is a big part of self-love. Not only that, it sets you up for the day, brings peace to your mind, and it encourages the conscious and subconscious mind to connect. Like I said before, it gives you perspective, and it helps you therefore make better choices, because you are able to stay calm and then act on given information and make a choice when it is relevant or when you're ready to. And actually, even though you're spending time doing this in your day and you think, oh, I have got time to do this, I haven't got time to do that, you're rushing about normally, having your coffee, grabbing this, grabbing that, and you're cluttered up here, which is because your mind is so busy. That's why you haven't got much time in the day. But when you're clearer here, it gives you more time in the day. And you'd be very surprised. The more time you spend doing sadhana, the more time you have in the day. And it's almost like as if the universe is giving you a magical gift there. Because I always wondered, like, I'm actually spending more time. Like now I'm spending an hour and a half doing sadhana. Because
that's commitment.
That is commitment. Every single day I have a routine. My routines, I get up in the morning, I sit and I meditate for about 20 minutes, and then after that I go and have a shower. I do oil pulling as well, and I scrape my tongue, and that's also part of my daily devotion. And then I come back to come out, and then I have these pads that I put on my eyes because I get blepharitis, so I need to put heated pads on my eyes before I start the day. So that gives me another chance to have a meditation practice. So that's me out for another 20 minutes. I know, meditation. And then after that I have my apple cider vinegar drink, and then I go and do about 7 minutes of intense exercises, 7 minutes workout that I love doing. And then after that I do sometimes I follow Adrienne's yoga because she's amazing, and I love the way that she does her hatha. So sometimes I do that, or my own practice, depending on how I feel. That probably brings me to about an hour and a half, and then I end it with malasana drinking, which I'll tell you all about another time, which is basically drinking to prevent constipation. That's the one. So
that's a whole nother video.
That's a whole nother video. But so this is what I do to cultivate my own, and not forgetting the journaling that I do within the day, which helps me with my own brain. So yeah, and that's my sadhana. But it shows that I love myself, and I'm devoted to myself, and I'm devoted to my self-improvement. We can easily say, nah. It is so easy to say nah, but when you start practicing, and when it becomes a habit, you don't want to stop, because you know what it feels like to have a break. I actually do have a break. I have a break once a week on Sunday, because I do a lot of teaching. I actually don't do as much like the workouts and yogas and stuff. I just do the meditation. So I do have a physical break, then I go for a walk. So it's different.
And there's something, it ignites the productivity in you, because like you were saying before, the tip of the iceberg is our thinking mind, that we're activated all the time. And then the lower part of the iceberg is your subconscious, the turning the doorknob, the doing things that are just instinctual. Whenever you create a sadhana that's comfortable and right for you, like Katrina has created for herself, it becomes instinctual. So you're no longer thinking, oh, okay, I got to get up and do my meditation, and then I got to do my oil pulling, scrape my tongue, this and that. No, it just becomes part of your routine. Yeah. And when you don't do it, you're like,
yeah, exactly. Especially if I'm traveling, I can't do it for whatever reason. That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but it allows your subconscious to take over. Because it's just like turning a doorknob, or it's becomes a part of who you are and what you do. It's that self-love part. Because I know in the morning I have to take thyroid medication, and I can't like eat or drink anything for 30 to 40 minutes after I take it. And then after I take that, I have to take another medication where I have to wait another 30 minutes before I can drink or eat anything. So I have a whole hour to hour and 10 minutes where I can't do anything. So that's when I do my sadhana. Because like there's no way to make this hour go by fast enough
Yeah.
You know, if I can have like my morning beverage or something
I'm
to
thinking
eat.
about talking about journaling, because journaling is a big, big one for compartmentalizing thoughts, ideas, opinions, problems, resolutions, anything, you know,
Sure, let's do
anything
it.
in your brain, anything that the brain throws you. So, you know, there's a massive impact that we're experiencing due to the pandemic, but also as being someone who's recovering from abuse and also being stuck in the same place all the time. You know, you're going to go through so many emotional turmoils. I, for one, I'm supposed to be in Malaysia, but stuck in the UK. I can't leave the country because my partner is British. He's not allowed to go back to Malaysia with me because they're very strict. And so I'm stuck here and I haven't seen my family for over a year. Oh my God. And so, yeah, I do this to keep me mentally sane, because I could go down the whole thing of being totally depressed, and I just don't want to go there, you know. So
It's difficult. It's difficult because we were in California. I had a friend group there that I relied on more than I realized.
yeah.
And we moved to Belgium. And as soon as we got to Belgium, they increased the lockdown restrictions. So I was not able to meet anyone or make friends.
Yeah.
And so I've been inside these walls of my house because can't find work right now, you know, and can't teach yoga and can't do all those things. So doing these weekly things with you is like my Friday pick me up. Like it's something I can really look forward to because it happens every Friday. And
You have to have something that punctuates the week, otherwise it's like Monday's the same as Tuesdays. You
it
know,
all blends together.
together. And time seems to be this, like, there's no time, has no feeling or emotion or meaning at the moment. So it's like,
Right.
what does a Monday look like that's different from us? So we know Friday, our Friday I meet Jen, so we talk about we did the series on chakras, and now we're going to do the series on sadhana. So, you know, yeah, so that punctuates our week, so we know that this is Friday. So yeah, we need something for mental health. Mental health is a big issue for a lot of people at the moment. So, you know, I hope that you find this very, very useful. And please comment below, because it'd be really, really good to hear what your thoughts, opinions are over your own meditation practice. If you do meditate, please comment below.
Yeah. Let us know what works for you because we're always looking for new ideas too. So
Exactly. So we will see you same time next week, hopefully, and we'll talk about journaling then. And
perfect.
I'm gonna hang on. All right, I'll see you next week, but don't hang up yet, Jen. I'll talk to you in a moment.